Hello, it's Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic, and I am back with week 5 or block 5 of Moda Blockheads 6. So as usual, I've got my iPad here and I always highlight just some measurements so I don't miss them out, and I've had a quick look through the instructions. I did watch a couple of videos as well before starting this, just as a refresher for me. Now, last week I had quite a bit of success by marking out some of my seams and some of the sewing lines as well, so I decided to definitely start off with that this time. But completely stuffed off because I sewed right through the middle line, not through the two lines on either side. I did decide just to leave that as was. I didn't unpick it or anything, which is why you could see it was quite messy then when I was cutting through it. But what I've done, as you can see here, I should say, is I'm just showing you now basically the stages where I'm cutting it and pressing it. I'm not actually showing you the stitching side of it. It was just too difficult to try and see it all on one desk, if you like, because everything's in a row. I've got my cutting, my pressing, and then my machine is just to the right off to the screen. So once you see me go through these little corner bits, and oh my, I think I counted up like 46 different sewing bits we needed to sew on this one. I'll be honest, I was dreading it. I've been putting it off, and I was half tempted to even skip past it because with the lack of success I've had over the last 4 blocks, I didn't think I would be up for the challenge of this one. But I have to say, I take everything back. This actually is my best one so far. I'm very proud of this one. You'll see there are a few mistakes, but that's fine. The overall effect, I absolutely love it. I think I've finally nailed sewing on the seams and getting the right seam allowance when I'm sewing, as well as the cutting, which obviously is a massive help. So as I'm making my corner pieces here, you can see there's a lot of little fiddler pieces in this. I'm looking forward to doing the next couple of blocks, which finish at an 18-inch instead of 9.5. I'm hoping that's going to be easier. I've never done one so big, so I'm looking forward to doing those. But you can see here, these are coming together quite well, and for the first time as well, I've actually got a little bit of fabric to actually cut away when I'm tidying these up. A lot of the blocks that I did before wasn't even finishing at the right size, so definitely I was giving too much of a seam allowance on that. And I'd seen a video, I think it was Mary, I can't remember, she always signs off saying something about being jolly and merry, but anyway, I'll try and find the details and link her down below. But she actually showed a trick of actually putting your ruler on your sewing machine, bringing down the needle gently and seeing where it actually lands, and that's where I realised mine was out of whack slightly. So definitely, hopefully, got past that and fixed that now. Now on this little particular bit, I'd forgotten to actually cut these into these quadrants or corners. I'd cut out the square shapes but not the triangles, so just catching up with that now, and then laying these out to sew the next parts of it. Overall, this took me over 3 hours. It was a labour of love, and I'm so glad that it came out looking as good as it did as well. You'll have seen on the last little quadrants or the cornerstones that we've just finished, a couple of my seams were out, but that's absolutely fine. I was still kind of really happy with that. As I was revealing these, as I was pressing them out, oh my god, 3 out of 4 I managed to nest perfectly, so I was absolutely pleased with that, really chuffed. I did struggle a bit because I've not got a ruler, or maybe I don't understand how to read the ruler, where you can actually see that it is perfectly centered or not. So I did see a Moda Blockheads 5 wrap-up video where they actually gave a tip of using a new ruler, perfect half square, quarter square. I think it was June Taylor. Anyway, I've ordered one of those on from eBay because they're so difficult to get here in Australia. But I love the way that you can actually draw the lines on there as well for your seam allowance in one go, rather than moving around the ruler, as well as getting any of those hourglass shapes perfectly centered. So again, all of these tips are really going to help me to perfect my craft and build my confidence doing these, and hopefully speed up as well. I feel like that's why it's taking me so long to do a lot of this. Even this bit now, as we're doing these, on reflection, I feel like I should have trimmed them down before putting this third piece on, just because when I did come eventually to cut these down, the sizing, well, there was bits of gap, so again, wasn't perfect. And out of everything on this particular block, I think this centerpiece is the bit that personally I feel lets it down. So you know, I could have just left it as a complete square, or I don't know, maybe not gone with the pattern. And I've seen lots of people on the Facebook group change it up and adapt it, and I love the fact that you can do that with all of these. But I just want to follow it to the rule because I do want to learn from each one of these. So you can see here, I should point out as well, this rotating mat that I've got, I actually got it for English paper piecing. I'm so glad I did. I was struggling so much cutting, and I'm trying to cut at my desk. And I apologise when you can see me in frame, because I really do feel like I need to be over the cutting just to give it that kind of weight and stop it slipping. So it is a little bit tricky. Normally I'm used to standing up at my cutting desk, but I'm trying to do it sat down, and this little rotating mat has been a godsend for that. So you can see here, it is really coming together. I really love my pattern choices as well. I was worried how it would go with adding the yellow, because now I am introducing another white background. But yeah, I'm still really pleased with my fabric choices and colour choices. And this is where you can see how wonky this one is. This is also one of the ones where I just didn't have enough seam allowance as well to trim all of it. But I tried to compensate when I was sewing it in and making sure the seam allowance was as close as I could get it to give me that extra space. By this time it was getting very late in the day, and the shadows over my desk were getting worse and worse, so I've just got some little photos here I took of my progress along the way as I was stitching this up. I forgot to take a picture of the back, so I apologise for that, but you can see here how much space have I got on this ruler. I am loving it. It was such a fun block to do. Thank you very much, Moda, again, for sharing these as learning experiences for us all. And I hope you also have a great crafting weekend. Thanks for watching.